Hello, welcome back to the channel. So today, something a wee bit different. I'm looking at my 15mm Desert British. So I've been using Battlefront miniatures for this, and I love Battlefront 15mm. I'm going to do a few more videos about it. They're my go-to World War II miniature manufacturer. I mean, I will look at other manufacturers to fill in some gaps, but yeah, the plastic tank kits, the infantry sculpts, everything's lovely. So no surprise if you see my other videos, I do like the 8th Army, so this is where my army is at the moment. Now, whilst I'm using Battlefront miniatures, I'm not necessarily building my armies for Battlefront. Probably going to be using, and I have used, Blitzkrieg Commander. And what I like about Blitzkrieg Commander is it pulls in a couple of my command and control elements that I like from Black Powder, and the units, the miniatures on the table. I think they've write the rules for each base is like a platoon, but actually they could represent what you wanted squad, so I can make the armies the way I want to. But anyway, enough of me talking. Let's look at some miniatures, and I have more to paint. You're going to see some of these guys just undercoated, and I'll share a funny story about that. They're the fellas at the back. But anyway, the infantry. Let's have a look at the infantry. So what I've done with the infantry is obviously machine gun sections. Yeah, I've got infantry sections. So at the moment there's 5 of them. Yeah, I've got a couple of mortars, a couple of small bases, and a command base. So what I've done with this is I've added some rocks to the bases. I'm still in two minds about using a spot of grass. I may or may not use a spot of like deserty dead grass, but the painting the rocks different colours just add a bit of interest to the bases. Now for using these for Blitzkrieg Commander, I would use the small 2-man command bases as normal commanders, but my general HQ for the army I've mounted on the bigger base, and on these guys there's a pile of jerry cans there as well. And just to fill it out a bit and make the models go further, I've got a wee light mortar on the base there. Now some units can have an anti-tank upgrade, so I only have one of them at the moment, and anti-tank gun, and that'll just attach to a base like that, so you can tell it's got anti-tank. So that's what I've done with those. And actually, even though I've not finished basing my 25 pounders, you can see what I've done here. So I've put sand on the base, sand PVA glue. I live next to a beach, so I've got quite a good supply of sand. What I do with the sand is I sieve it so I get the grains I want, and then make sure it's kind of in the oven to kill off any beasties or anything that shouldn't be there. Then I use a watered down dark brown paint, and once that's dried, I'll dry brush it with the colours I want. Generally it's like a Steel Legion drab and bleach bone colour on top. If I'm doing normal sort of Western Europe, North America look. If I'm doing desert, I can't quite remember the colours I've used for this, which could cause me a bit of trouble as I try and match it, but hey, we get the idea. Now, what I've done as well is I've got tanks. Love my British tanks in the desert. So, and I've got another, basically the tanks you see here, double it up again, because I bought some more of the, I think it was Tobruk starter sets, outrageous value. So yeah, you can easily double up the tanks in that. Now, for early war, I'll have my Crusaders and my Stuarts. These are the Crusaders. Now, if you've seen the other one video, my 28mm video, I love this grey sand coloured camouflage, so I had to replicate that for these. Finish off a wee bit of work on the tank commander there and apply some transfers. Now, supporting them in the desert, I've got my Stuarts. I love my Stuarts. The idea of a British Hussar unit in Stuarts charging across the battlefield in their tanks, which are woefully under armoured for the opposition. So yes, that's my Stuarts. Now, as the war went on, the British got some bigger, better American tanks. So that's what these are, my Grants. You're always an unusual tank having your main gun in the body. Well, I think that was an anti-infantry gun, and that's the anti-tank 2-pounder, British 2-pounder, which is just not good enough for its purpose. And I've gone for a brown and dark brown. It was actually, I think it was meant to be black, but it went dark brown in the desert, and tan, and some Shermans, so sort of late war El Alamein. Now, what will I be adding? Well, this is one of my funny stories about Battlefront. This actually shows Battlefront's really good customer service. So I ordered some universal carriers. I love my universal carriers. I love them in flame bolt action. I think they're really nice wee models. So I ordered some of these. So combination troop transport, but also light reconnaissance elements. Blitzkrieg Commander does have a whole section on reconnaissance. But what came in the box was 3 Churchills, about as far away from light reconnaissance in the desert as you can get. Interestingly enough, the packaging outside was for universal carriers, and the sticker they put on the inside was for Churchill. So obviously somebody had mixed them up. So contacted Battlefront and they sent me out replacements, no bother. So yes, so instead of my little light reconnaissance units, what I got was a big heavy Churchill. Now the Churchills were used in Tunisia towards the very end of the North Africa campaign, so I will be painting these up as North African Tunisian Churchills, so they'll be in the brown, dark brown, tan coloured. So anyway, that's the army at the moment, so not too far away from being finished. Tanks paint up really quickly. But anyway, transfers to go on, and because I've got a lot of the starter sets, I've got some of these. I should mention the starter sets don't have transfers in them. I think the normal boxes and army sets do. So I've got some of these to put on them, and I think they'll look brilliant once all the markings and transfers is on. That's something I've learned from Flames War, my bolt action miniatures. So once you get transfers on a tank, it starts looking up. Anyway, that is my 15mm British Army in the desert. Played a couple of games of Blitzkrieg Commander with these. I do have a German army which is getting worked on, almost finished, and I'll be doing an Italian army as well for the desert. And hopefully this year I'll get to play a few more games of Blitzkrieg Commander. It's a set of rules. I've liked what I've seen so far, and I want to really get into and exploit. But anyway, so for me, hope you're having a great hobby time at the moment, and I look forward to chatting to you in another video. So that's bye for now. Goodbye.